Good day everyone, I am Llycris Jade Almedora from Code 0255. In this video, I will provide about the background of the cry of PugadLawin or Balintawak. In the further discussion, you will be able to learn what is the first cry is, when did it happen, and why did it happen. Also, you will be able to know the different account about the place and the date of the first cry will also be provided by discussing different account of primary and secondary authors. Make sure to finish this video because you will be provided by a deep and concrete explanation about this event. So there are four that you need to know in the cry of Balintawak or PugadLawin. There are different you want to know. So first is what is the first cry? How did first cry happen? What are the significant events of the first cry? And when and where did it happen? So what is the first cry? Most of you know what is the first cry or the cry is, but the cry it is a term translated from the Spanish word which means El Grito de Rebellion or El Grito for short, which means in English is a cry for rebellion. So the first cry, what is the first cry? It is generally signified as the first call for a rebellion. It is marked as the beginning of Philippine Revolution or seeking of independence for the Philippines from Spanish colonial with the use of violence and arms. It means that the first cry, it is the first call for rebellion, which marked as the beginning of the Philippine Revolution. What are the significant events in the first cry? So first is the tearing up the community tax certificates. So the tearing up of the community tax certificates or cedulous personnels, it symbolized the termination of Katipunero, which is the loyalty to the Spanish regime. So this is the first significant event. The second, which is the patriotic shout such as the Viva la Independencia Filipina, the shout for Viva la Independencia Filipina or Long Live Philippines Independence, was to express their goal to their secret society. When and where did first cry happen? It is very surprising that there are various versions on the dates and venues to the first cry. This controversy remains unsolved in the Philippine history since different Filipinos have varying accounts as to when and where it happened. Because of different accounts and the ambiguity of place names and these accounts, the exact date and place of the cry is disputed. So there are four authors that the cry of Balintawak or PugadLawin did it happen. So the first is Dr. Pio Valenzuela, the cry of PugadLawin. Dr. Pio Valenzuela is a Filipino physician and revolutionary leader at the age of 23, and he joined in the Katipunan and became of the official. And also he also a friend of Andres Bonifacio, which is the leader of the Katipunan. In his first version, PugadLawin happened on Wednesday of August 26, 1896. In his second version, PugadLawin happened on August 23 and 1896. Second one is General Santiago Virata Alvarez, the cry of Bahay Turo. General Santiago is a delegado general of the Provincial Council of the Katipunan in Cavite. He became the captain and general, and later he commander-in-chief of the Magdiwang forces and vanity fought of Spaniards from 1896 to 1897. In his version, in his account, the first cry happened on August 24, 1896 at Bahay Turo, Quezon City. Third authors is General Guillermo Mansakay. They say that the cry of Balintawak, that the first cry happened in Balintawak. He designated to build the KKK in Cavite. He played a key role of the Filipino-American War in a revolutionary general. In his first version, the cry of Balintawak happened on August 26, 1896 in Sunday Tribune, first decade of American occupation. Second version, it happened on August 23, 1896 at Bagong Buhay. But he changed back on August 26 by his granddaughters Soledad Bola Borromeo. And the last one is Gregoria de Jesus, the first cry. The girl Jesus is the Lakambini of the Katipunan, and she was the custodian of the documents and seal of the Katipunan. In her account, the first cry happened near the Caloocan on August 25, 1896. So there are counter-argument and argument if the first cry happened in Balintawak or in PugadLawin. So the first evidence says that the first cry happened in PugadLawin is Dr. Pio Valenzuela was the only eyewitness who accounted that the cry happened in PugadLawin. So Teodoro Agoncillo is revealed in the Masins in 1956. According to Agoncillo, he used his considerable influence and campaign to change the date and venue of the first cry to PugadLawin on August 23, 1896. In 1963, President Macapagal ordered that the cry of Balintawak shall be called the cry of PugadLawin, and it should be to celebrate on August 23 instead of August 26. And also, there are evidences that the first cry happened in Balintawak. According to Dr. Milagros Guerrero, Ramon Villegas, and Emmanuel Encarnacion, they stated that all of these mentioned places are part of Balintawak and Quezon City during the Spanish regime is still not existing place. Guillermo Magsangkay is an eyewitness of the historic event. Events according to Magsangkay, first is on August 26, 1896. The meeting held in Balintawak at the house of Apolonio Samson. Among those who attended were Andres Bonifacio, Emilio Jacinto, and Aguido del Rosario. And second events, according to Magsangkay, in 9 a.m., August 26, the meeting was opened with Andres Bonifacio presiding and Emilio Jacinto acting as secretary. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss when the uprising was to take place. And third, Andres Bonifacio argues with the other leaders about starting the revolt too early and leaves. Andres Bonifacio, upon leaving the meeting, gave a fierce speech and the people shouted to revolt. After the speech, they all teared their cédulas or tax certificate. And after the pledge and tearing of cédulas, Andres Bonifacio returns to the session hall and informed the leaders on what to place outside. Despite their differences, they all voted for revolution and outside. The people shouted, "Long live the Philippine Republic." At 5 p.m., while the gathering at Balintawak were celebrating, guards up in the trees gave a warning that the Spaniards were coming. Andres Bonifacio then led them to prepare for the attack by the civil guards.
In conclusion, I'm sure you will have an idea right now what is the first cry and where did it happen and why did it happen. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and God bless.